And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Welcome to Clear Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day here on the LRN.FM network in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, from the studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. On the line, I have Amin Mahmoud, and he's going to help me with the pronunciation. Did I got that, Amin? Did I get that right?
Amin
Mahmoud.
Amin Mahmoud.
Thank you. And you're with the Alliance of Egyptian Americans. Now, I want to get an understanding of what that means. And I know that you've had protests in Washington, D.C. You spoke at the National Press Club. You have supporters that are going out to the embassies and so on. And I'm wondering, you're asking that we support the people in Egypt in their quest for freedom and social justice. But before we can go any further, I need to have a definition of what that means.
Yeah, we are several Egyptian organizations, and I am in two of them. One of the Egyptian Association for a Change, and the other one, the Alliance, the one you mentioned, the Alliance of Egyptian American, and both organizations are calling for democratic Egypt. We promote democracy and social justice in Egypt. We've been active for a while. And lately, after the revolution in Egypt on January 21st, we had our press conference to ask the American administration to support the people and stop support any dictators in Egypt or any other place in the Middle East. But in particular, Egypt, as we watch in the last 2 weeks or so, people going out, millions on the streets of Cairo, and it's still not Mubarak or Obama can get it, that the voice of people is out, then we have to follow that.
Okay, now let me go ahead and I still want to get some definition of terms here. When you say democracy, okay, are you asking that we have some kind of one person, one vote, majority rule? We vote for more goodies from whatever, and we get them. I mean, is that what we're talking about? Or?
Democracy is the same everywhere, and Egypt have a long history of democracy since the middle of the 1800s. We had the first parliament in 1866, and we elect the mayors of the cities, the villages, for years and years before that, hundreds of years before that. People in Egypt know what democracy means. People to choose somebody to represent them, and they will depend on that person to voice their needs. And then one man, one vote, of course, that's equal to everybody in the society.
Well, right now you have what? I mean, we're in the West. We're given the idea that you have elections. It's just the same guy keeps winning all the time. But are they trusted? Do they think they really get to have a choice? Is there opposition candidates that would represent the people? Tell me what's really going on now, because I'm getting the impression you're having elections. It's just they're corrupt. How do you make them uncorrupt?
We have a democracy, they call it, but it is not, because we have an election, but they steer it the way they want. They crack down on all opposition. They made some opposition parties, they give them some benefits. They have to depend on the government to have any funds. They promise them some number of seats in the parliament. And the last election was a disaster on November 28th of 2010. Really, the ruling party won 98%, which really they forged, and we have documentation, pictures, videos about the way they mark the ballots themselves. They change the ballots. They fix everything and put it in the boxes.
Yeah, it sounds like America. Okay, now we experience this stuff too. So I'm with you, brother. But I want to make sure that we understand what you're advocating should you get an accurate election. Let's say you get an accurate election and the majority of the people would want more something, more what? What do they want?
No, we want somebody to represent the people. We don't want somebody to forge the election, and we call it equal. And it's not like United States, as you mentioned. I disagree.
Oh no, we got corruption here too. Don't
corruption everywhere, but that's beyond corruption. That's beyond and above anything you can imagine. When we now hear that Mubarak have 40 or to $70 billion, him and his family. I don't have a proof of that myself, but I read it in the English newspaper and the American newspaper anyway. But we have a really corruption. We don't have a election. We don't have any election. They refuse. The Egyptian government refused to have a monitors of the election from domestic or international. They refused that. They said we don't want. They only have a figure, some few people, they accept them to monitor within in Egypt, and they give them permission the night before the election. Can you imagine how the wide Egypt, they can go to hundreds or thousands of ballot places? It's really, they do it what they want.
I mean, I'm with you. I believe that you have a corrupt electoral process. Not a doubt in my mind. But that's not my question. My question is, let's assume that it was accurate. It's accurate. And you have the people of Egypt go to the ballot box and they say, all right, we're going to get our votes counted accurately this time. Yes. And I'm wondering, what are they going to be voting for? Or is it, this mobocracy kind of majority, they got too much over here, we want to take from them and give to us? Or do we just want to do away with the limitations on us being able to keep our stuff and them not take it, being able to open a business without asking their permission, be able to compete without having the state support some monopoly of, somebody's friend? I mean, what are they really looking for?
Yes, that's exactly what people are looking for. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, full freedom of elect their representative, honest representative. They want to have free to open business, free to run the country, and reduce or eliminate the corruption in Egypt completely, and then to have the benefit of raising the standard of living of the Egyptian people. We have over 40%, 45% of the people living under $2 a day, which under the poverty line of the United Nations figure. We would like to eliminate that, increase education, and so on.
Okay, let me go ahead. What I'm building up to, I've been talking to a lot of people on the issue of Egypt, and we, as libertarian, freedom-oriented, we just want there are those that want to be left alone. There are those that won't leave them alone. And I'm certainly advocating for being left alone. And I don't really want the government to do something for me. I just want them to stop doing stuff to me. And I'm wondering, the culture in Cairo, the people, are they able to open up their minds to the idea that as individuals that they own themselves, that they aren't like slaves or subjects to the state or Mubarak's cattle? I mean, where is their mindset? How do they think?
We are really now under Mubarak mercy, as you say, as you said it. But people want to have a full independence from the government. We don't need the government to run our business. But we change the system from social system to capitalist system, and people like to have their own business, their own work. They can work for the government or for any other business, but to be independent, to depend on themselves. They can build themselves, but no corruption.
When we come back, I want to see how this applies to the youth. They're in the streets. I want to know who are the people that are in the streets and who supports them and what's the future. We'll find out when we come back with Amin Mahmoud in just a little bit.